Nongshim talent.
Why and how are you Akame's dance partner? Kaede likes to dance.
今日の試合の意気込みとかどんな感じでやるかなんか聞きたいです。
今日のフル戦線はプリミーがめちゃめちゃ強いんでプリミー倒してみんなで勝ちます。
Kaede's thoughts on today's match against Full Sense? He's going to take Pretty down. Alright, thank you Akame, you're a great host.
Easy. Thank you,
Thank you.
Excellent interview. So insightful. Did you know that Kaede was his dance partner?
Did you know he was called Kaede? Because it's cool.
I felt like I was on a kids show.
That was super adorable, though. Good vibes from this team, and you know they've always had these vibes despite their ups and lots of downs. But it's so cool to see them on the up and up, especially this year. In fact, we are going to be having a chat with our Japan analysts and casters very shortly. We're gonna give them a little dial and see what they're up to. But I think DFM, you know, speaking of this, if they win today, this will be their third consecutive win. That's huge for this team.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be great in a way now. DFM went through some tough years. There's no two ways about it, but now they really have the Japanese fans behind them. You can feel everybody getting pumped up about this team, especially with the changes that they made in the offseason. I think people are more and more excited than ever.
Yeah, I think a win over Full Sense would be a big statement win. GE have kind of been a little bit up and down so far in this competition. Full Sense, a team that's in pretty good form outside of maybe that Pine game against Nongshim earlier. So I think a win over Full Sense would be a big statement from DFM today.
Oh, absolutely. And I know this is something we'll be breaking down a bit more later, but seeing Primi versus May,
Yes.
if you're going to choose one duelist, who would you be picking? That's a tough one.
I don't even know how you choose. It's so tough.
Primitive.
For me, all the way?
We're gonna have enough, insight and bias from Japanese after the broadcast. So I gotta rep the Thai boys.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. Let's
クにいるんですけれども、2022年、24年はグローバル e スポーツのコーチをしていまして、なぜかこのように、解説者として、出演するようになっております。よろしくお願いします。
And I'm Victoria. I, met you guys over in Japan last year. I'm the VCT Pacific host, one of them. But I've been here since the inaugural year in 2023 of VCT Pacific. And I also want to clarify that the biggest fan of Japanese teams is not paper thin. It's actually me.
Okay. ビクトリアさんです。もちろん皆さんご存知のVCT パシフィックのホストなんですけれども、2023年のからずっとVCT パシフィックでホストをしてるんですけど、ここで一つしっかりとお伝えしておきたいのが、日本の一番のファンはペーパーシーンではなく私だというところなんです。なので皆さん覚えておいてください。
That's not true. He's going to be so mad I said that.
Very good.
Paper thing is definitely the biggest fan.
ごめんなさい、怒られるかもしれないんで提唱しておきます。ペーパーシーンは日本の一番のファンだと思います。
Thank you.
But thank you so much for joining us here today. I am still a fan of the Japanese teams, of course. I want to ask you guys, since both Depp and Laz stepped down from the mantle, who are the big heroes for Japanese Valorant now? Who are the fans clamoring over? Is it just me, or are there some other people that are big heroes over there?
自己紹介も終わりましたので、早速質問に移りたいんですけれども、日本のバロラントシーンの中でラズさん、そしてデップ選手が VCT には今参戦していない中、ファンの皆さんは誰をヒーローとみなしていると思いますか？
Me.
You, Taiga-san. Yes. I'm gonna put now. My favorite player is Taiga-san, the hero of Japanese Valorant.
ヒーローということで
普通に話していくと、今、メイ選手という話がありましたけど、もちろんメイ選手はそうなんですが、今、ちょうど、安塚選手であったりとか楓選手、若きプレイヤーが今どんどん、ティア1にこちらも
Japanese
フルセンス
じゃないかなと。
All of the inside jokes or funny.
そうな、なんか日本のウィーって出しておきたいなと思うんですけど何か日本のキャスターさんの方からこちらに質問ってありますか？
ぜひ、聞きたいのが、今会場で、我々は日本キャスターデスクとして、ステージ
いや、すごくプロフェッショナルに今のように
一回も
ないです。Like
Right, well, DFM is looking really good. Thank you so much, Taiga-san, Ratloff, and Mizuka for translating. Have a great day today over there in Japan.
で、素晴らしいゲームになりますようにお祈りしています。ご説明ありがとうございました。
Thank you.
ありがとうございました。Thank you.
Bye.
Oh my God, they're so much fun.
Yes.
Smith. I guess
Smith.
we'll. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
We got to let the casters know.
Yeah.
They got to use that today.
Just start calling him Smith. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, you guys should go and tune into the Japanese stream, even if you don't speak Japanese. The hype, especially when the games get crazy, the hype that the Japanese casters bring is something else. You know?
Yeah.
It's always fun to go to some of the other different language broadcasts, and they have different styles of how they do the broadcast.
Was, I think, a very interesting one. Hard in that everyone is so good on all four teams today.
Yes.
So let's start with you, Big Time. What you got?
So I got Primmy in there. I feel like you got to get.
We are players in the competition. He's always playing controller. He's not going to get me any minus points, and he's going to do well for himself. Meteor, very good on T1. He is going to get me minus points because
only him there and middle bracket, I would say this is every match has been just exciting, but I'm very excited for today. DFM has been on the up and up. Full Sense, a lot of high hopes for this team, and we know how good they shoot. And of course, T1 Paper X. Like I don't even know how much more we need to say about that.
Yeah, they're in these games crazy in the middle bracket. It's going to get even scary.
The triple
because it's been very entertaining to watch
right now. And DFM, this is why this triple elimination is so exciting. DFM has, we gotten to see them face multiple teams now. Teams aren't like refacing each other. And going against Full Sense today was very exciting. Now this team, we've seen huge improvements every step of the way. I think there was one player, Yatsuka, who said that he wanted to step up a bit. He wasn't performing to his best, but they did win.
I was impressed by him. I've been impressed by this whole team. I think the changes that they made in the offseason have already started to pay dividends. I've become just a bigger and bigger fan of these as they've gone on. And then their last game against Global.
To prepare coming into this competition, which is crazy.
Let's hear that.
I don't think we can hear it.
Okay, we can.
So what he said is, why did they choose Split over Haven? And he said, well, GE Split just didn't look good. We knew we could beat it.
After they'd won twice in a row against Paper X and Barrel, DFM said, their Split looked bad, so we just picked Split as a third map. And then they also said in that interview,
changes over to Full.
Demolished on the second map. A little bit humbled, unfortunately, by Nong.
Team play a lot more different agents, but ultimately he's not found that footing that he kind of had before. These are probably our two biggest individual heavy hitters, and we get this to be elected. Picking Pearl makes
actually 6-0 in the last couple of games on Pearl, although they only 1-0 with their current comp. Their split looks very... Both teams are...
Predicting for today?
I went for Full Sense.
I got DFM.
You got DFM? Yeah. Okay, I ended up going for Full Sense, but I'm really 50-50 on this right now. Both these teams have plus points. Don't wow me.
The biggest fan of Japanese Valorant.
I know. I stepped off the ship to take a little stop in Thailand for today because, Full Sense is really, really good. With that, we're going to send to the stage and welcome DFM versus Full Sense.
Detonation Focus Me.
DFM is on a hot streak right now, especially when it comes to VCT Pacific records. They've won 10 matches, and this, if they win today, would be their third consecutive match win in a row. It's huge for this team.
Wow, imagine telling that to someone in 2023. They would not believe you. But this is a team that's got Japan excited. It's got the rest of the world excited. Such charismatic players, so brilliant in the server. finally putting together something that can become really scary. A big win against GE last. They want to carry that momentum, keep rolling this ball forward all the way, wave by wave, to Master Santiago.
I want to know who choreographs these dances.
Yeah,
for the teams, for
surely
these
they
two players.
outsource. Surely they pay a professional.
Yeah,
It's too
Is that-
clean.
It is. It's too good. Look at this. This is top tier dancing here on the stage. I love it. Every time it brings smiles to all of our faces. But they will be playing against Full Sense today, and I think this is one of those matches where there isn't a clear winner. Both of them have shown their good potential here, and I think if they both play on top form, I still find it difficult to choose who this winner might be.
Look, I think Full Sense is still undeniably going to be the favorite in this matchup today. In that upper bracket, they missed out on an opportunity for 3 chances to advance to the international event. How much disappointment can the Thai fans take at the end of stage 2? They missed that champs qualification. If they make their way through this middle bracket now, they're going to have only 2 chances at going to the international event. Primi has already proven he's one of the best players, if not the best player in Pacific, but if they don't make it to Santiago, he can't claim that he's one of the best in the world.
Oh, that's rough. I still think he's one of the best in the world, even without going there. I mean, we look at the way this guy plays, the way he aims. It's just so remarkable. But these two teams, I have to say, they both come from regions with probably the nicest fan base. The Japanese and Thai fan base.
That's true.
Are so awesome.
NT Cup.
And we were talking about the map veto earlier and how DFM has showed every single one of their maps, but they're kind of doing what they did last time, like picking that split against a GE and doing it again with Pearl.
Well, that's the thing. It was the third map decider that DFM choose to leave in and say, we are better than GE on this map. They smashed them on it. And then this week, Full Sense goes, oh, you guys think you're good at split? They pick it into DFM.
Yeah, I'm really curious what's going to have cooked up. For me, I really hope this goes to 3 maps because DFM were running a Phoenix comp on Haven.
Yes.
And I would love to see that again. I want to see...
Really? You want to watch them go 2 and 9 on attack?
Look, it didn't work for them last time. It didn't work for them, but I want to see the growth.
Was crazy, yeah.
I want to see the growth.
Yeah, Yatsuka and Kaide in particular, the Phoenix Chamber felt like a wall that you couldn't break through. So, look, hopefully they fine-tuned up that attack or even maybe swapped up their comp. We've already seen a lot of depth from them. I feel like DFM still have a few more tricks in the bag.
Oh, absolutely. I think there's no way you show all of that without a plan in mind. And they're just not the kind of team that would be so risky all the time. I feel like some of the essence would still be there. Now, Full Sense with Cruz on the coaching role. I was having a chat with Komodo about this earlier. Do you think this plays a big difference? You know, not being able to call it all the time as the IGL.
Yeah, I think he's finding it a little bit stressful. I think he'd love to give more input if he could, but he's having to give input where he can. And I'm sure he'll be doing that on these compositions. We do have them coming through. On the side of DFM, no changes for them. This is exactly what we've seen them run. The previous 2 games where they've got those wins, May, of course, on that Neon standout highlight.
Yeah, defense side for Full Sense here today. It's going to be that explosive Yoru raise. You're going to look for that double dive once we move on to attack. Primi playing these off angles on the Yoru. Jit Boys has been pretty good on the Sentinel lately, but the main thing that I need to see for Full Sense today is for Thai to go crazy on his raise. He has been completely silent in kickoff after showing so much promise, swapping from the controller to the duelist role in Stage 2 of Pacific last year. Where has he been? He needs to show up today.
Yeah, that's a huge point, and we need to see Full Sense do what DFM is doing. You can't just rely on your superstar fragger, right? You want the rest of the team to step up, and they have shown they are absolutely capable of it. And we're seeing Riddle Order fans in the audience, like the Japanese casters are sharing with us. You know, it was a huge when they ended up joining DFM. You can see why they're just so good. Kaide is all vibes.
I mean, Kaide's had huge performances on Pearl in the past as well. I think on this Killjoy, I think that's his best role, if you ask me. So I think he wants to step up in a big way today, and especially if there's some Riddle Order fans in the room.
Yeah, Yatsuka as well. They have appointed him as the operator player, shoved him on Yoru every single map. He had a poor one last week, but he wants an improved performance today against Full Sense.
Now, for those of you who want to see our predictions, you can go into our socials. But for our casters, I want to know who you think the better dancer is. Is it Cruz or is it Akama?
Oh, fantastic question. I think right now, kind of proven. Akami hands down. What do you think?
I would tend to agree with that right now, but we got to see maybe how Cruz can teach his team how to dance in the server right now, because we're needing to start to see that a little bit, because if we want to extend out what Victoria and I were actually talking about earlier on, it was the adjustments that we're seeing for Full Sense in the macro gameplay right now, where Cruz is out of the roster, because he was someone that always had really great understanding last year under Coach Frost. Now, there's a different look for Full Sense coming in towards this year with Leviathan coming in, and I do start to question a little bit what we're seeing from them, because when they're going in and their first gameplay point is not working, they crumble, they lose it. They have to figure that one back out, and I think this is going to be a really good battle, a really good series to test them in that department. When I look at this as well and I see that they're getting pushed a little bit in this veto, we saw problems with them over on Bind last time, so we're seeing them remove that from this, which actually opens up Haven to be that third map, because previously they were banning Haven and Abyss every single series so far. So DFM, you know, they've got an opportunity here to, of course, try and win it in 2 first, but if they need to, go to Haven, that Full Sense weren't feeling comfortable on, having banned that, you'd assume.
There's definitely, you know, some signs of worry here and there, and you're definitely right as well. It's a fantastic point to make, because Cruz mentioned it himself in some recent interviews as well, you know, new guys in the team, and then because he's not there to really lead them in the middle of the rounds anymore. Gotta find new ways to rein in that ego, but they're still gonna go right into the round anyway. Of course, Full Sense backing off onto the defense, holding off a different angle while DFM pushes up.
Yeah, taking the space. You definitely want to do this in a 5 versus 5 pistol. Got a little bit of utility that you can drop on towards the site as well, that you look towards Kaide. No nanos, from what I can see. So they're only going to have that grav well from Cess a little bit later, as the time starts to tick away.
Just trying to kick things off with the initial utility, but look, Yatska able to hold it off. 2 shots already found. Pink Shells coming in, Main dives onto the grenade, but at the same time, Killa finding a shot onto Yatska as well. Still though, time ticking away from the spike, and now Akami trying to hold off to a different angle. Has been spotted, but also takes down Leviathan and looks for a couple more shots. Thigh diving into the kills as well. Will find a third in the round, getting the defuse at the end for Full Sense.
Yeah, so far in pistols throughout the term of Pacific Kickoff right now, DFM have been pretty darn good at the higher side of it, but for Full Sense, they've been in the negative sense of it, right? Losing more than gaining, so it's good to see that they're able to pick this one up on the back of some very sharp shots from Thigh, something that we've been kind of missing, right? Pilsky was highlighting it. Missing a lot of the impacts that he kind of brings to the team, so if we can see some comfort in the server today, I think that's going to be really important, and always in these 5 versus 5 retakes and 5 versus 5 pistols, it can always get a little bit topsy-turvy, right? Do you have the utility? Are you playing more for that? Are you playing more for kills? Full Sense, they are a team that will be happy to take you in the kill fights. So I do kind of want to see DFM look for some advantages later on before going for the plants. And we'll have to see if those adjustments do come on through, as it's just going to be in this second round a full lean to the A site with all the information on the utility. So Premier gets back over towards B with the Outlaw. And you got the KJ set up there as well, which is actually going to be tested in mid at the moment. Jit Boys gets a headache. Do DFM want to continue towards B, or do they want to reroute though? Because there's some options that could get quite interesting here.
Start to poke around. But either way, at the same time, Full Sense definitely somewhat prepared for it thanks to the util, the player positioned up inside A main right now.
It's going to be one of these things as well for the KJ utility, right? Where we do see a lot of teams opt to put the turret in towards Art to watch it. And you got the alarm bot towards mid as well, but this be a lean, it's not going to see that. So it is free territory for DFM to attempt to get into this A site. Getting the plant here, Quack, is not bad.
Good money, but you know, we'll see how clean Full Sense can really take this. The pop flash, perhaps not quite expected, so Leviathan will take the fall, but Thigh able to find the exchange. Now 2 remaining players for DFM. Yeah, not much else. They can only hold the off angles out from stairs. So Primi pushing up. Unfortunately not finding the outlaw shot, but Killa still around the corner alongside Jit Boys. Still some damage though.
Yep. When you got that A main territory as well, you definitely want to have a player inserted there as Full Sense. So a bit surprising the DFM do try to run back in towards main and not have a double swing ready, for example. Also good for Full Sense to recognize that the showstopper can come online in towards this bonus round. It's going to be a very big ultimate that can turn favor in this next one. So we'll see how it's going to be piloted for them, because on this map, right, we do see Full Sense lack a bit of this extremity control. We see a lot of teams go for the Yoru extremity control with a fade behind it. You want to push in, you know, an extra agent, no matter which side of the map it's going to be. You want to play strong side Yoru. You want to get them out. So I do really wonder in the preparations coming in towards this one for Full Sense, are these ideas going to be coming into play?
Certainly would hope so. Because back against DRX, when they last played this map, it was definitely a little bit hectic at times. Primi off to the Outlaw this round still. Killua finding first contact, though, with a little peek down middle.
Yeah, player advantage. You certainly take that right now as Full Sense. Got a bit of a deeper push in towards the B site right now for DFM, though. But how are you going to kind of flood yourself in towards the side if you want to try and get it, right? You're not playing the waylay that we see some teams sort of adopt, so you don't have a bit of a deeper double dive. If you're trying to send in just the gate crash for Yatsuka to get some horse control, well, you want a dart online or a drone, and Akame doesn't have them at the moment, so there's some options that DFM need to start to decide where they want to end this round, because if they do bring the spike back towards A, for example, the mighty force of Full Sense is pretty much all here. It could be a wrong call if they do this, and you gotta remember Cess on the other side of the map because of this Astra has plagued DFM a lot sometimes.
Yeah, not quite showing up in the kill department at times. Right now, just trying to perhaps poke a little bit inside of our. We'll see if there's anything there, and it does feel like there's something there. What they also don't know, though, is this judge. Jitboy springs forward, but unfortunately falls to Yatsuka.
Too premature for him in that moment in time. You got the player advantage, you got the showstopper. Kind of would have minded him just playing for the rest of the team, but you understand the idea with the judge. You want to get a bit sneaky beaky like that. Post plant now. See what Dai is going to be able to potentially do, but he is going for a flank.
That's a pretty long one. Cess could possibly keep him in check. You want to deploy that showstopper, but might be difficult. Thankfully, though, Primi coming in to dispatch me.
All these kills, they take him away from it. The flank can activate now with a good shot out from Leviathan traded.
Slowly moving forward, and thanks to that, Cess was distracted just enough for Ty to come in with the double kill at the end. So Primi defuse bonus round picked up for Full Sense.
And how many bonus rounds have we seen converted in the past couple of days globally as well? Just really propel some teams for some massive 13-4, 13-5 scorelines, right? We see Pistols, a very big important round in the game of Valorant. We see the second rounds want to go clean, and then you start to play the percentages as well, right? If you're getting those 2 rounds, how much of an interest do you have in getting the bonus round? Very clean retake at the end here, and I love just the focus from Full Sense. Draw the attention onto the site, make it feel like you're really putting the pressure on. Draw Cess away from watching the flank, because when Kaide's gone, there's going to be no flank watch.
Such a pivotal point. Thanks to that 7-0 right now. We'll see how this continues to shape up. For now, though, straight dive into A main with Mei at the helm.
Hero gun. Gonna see what can be facilitated for him to get on in. Yatsuka with the Dimensional Drift and Akame with the Hunter's Fury can technically be combined for something as well, but you're not gonna do that super early in the mix right now. In another 4-1 position. I know a lot of the games yesterday, there was a hell of a lot of 4-1s being played.
Bring them down.
Definitely pays off at times as well right now. Just a bit of re-clearing with the Prowler.
It's just nature of having Yoru be such a prevalent agent at the moment, isn't it, right? They can play the strong side, get over to the weaker side, and always be happy to go for a bit of a battle, which is what I feel like Jitboys might have to be aware of right now.
At the same time, TP not quite there for Primi perhaps, so Jitboys gonna have to be cautious. A lot of faith in the anti-eco, perhaps. Absolutely obscured by smoke for now, allowing it to go through as soon as it dissipates. Finds a header.
Spike planted.
DFM just trying to hold on to things for now, though. While Full Sense gets into position now. And the initial artillery utility will fall through. Showstopper gets deployed to secure the round, why not? But Mei able to find a singular trade. Jitboys, the rest of Full Sense, proved to be too overwhelming. And also a little bit stunning. 4-0 for now.
Yeah, really good structure on the retake to come through from Full Sense as well, right? JitBoys doesn't overplay his hand, doesn't try to sacrifice himself in the very beginning when you expect that there is going to be the lesser buy to come through from DFM. As I said, it's just a hero gun from May, and if he's not getting activated from the team, there's not going to be much you're going to do. You feel like while you've got the control of the B site, you've got the plant down, you're not going to be playing for a Hunter's Fury angle in this one. It is your lesser buy. You're trying to see what damage you're going to be able to do to impact Full Sense a little bit later on, and maybe build up some of your own, because we've seen 4 plants in a row currently from DFM. They've been able to get in towards these sites. They've just not been able to lock it down. And this is why I'm talking about an angle for them to try and get some advantages nice and early on.
Definitely crucial, especially with the composition as well. But right now, this advantage, the dimensional drip from Yatsuka.
Yeah, see how many players it's going to be able to spot out. Nobody in towards main, though, so fully cleared. Look for a plant again, perhaps. Killua with this Nightfall goes early.
Really quick as well. The Hunter's Fury in response, trying to perhaps hold off Full Sense. Little tags here and there, just Leviathan ding down at the same time. JitBoys on a long journey.
Yeah, and this alarm bot is going to keep him in check a little bit later on, so you're either trying to remove Kaede or get a Flood retake in pretty rapid snap for Full Sense. An Operator for Primi is probably not the weapon that you really want to try and have in this.
Definitely a little bit tricky, but perhaps Full Sense's best chance in the round. Did he not get detected by that alarm bot? He's actually continuing to scale forward, and Akami none the wiser. With a flash as well, finally springs off. Mei Yatsuka finding a couple kills as well, but the spike starting to go off. Leviathan tries to stick the defuse, but not quite landing it in the end. The spike goes off, and DFM, Red Bull clutches up.
0.05, a little bit of miscommunications perhaps for Full Sense in that bit. You got that flank as we see JitBoys be able to come out with super late in the piece, and I'm looking at Kaede. When are you going to activate? Going for this water wrap at the moment, but you've got all the utility stall coming on towards that spike there. You get off it after the grab well already halved there, and it feels a little bit sloppy in the mix. Full Sense not able to get the job done. I mean, it gets super close at the end, but not a reliable way for DFM to start to string some rounds together. Got to be a bit more convincing that they're going to come out on top of these ones. And as they go for the walk of 5 up through B, it is going to be JitBoys potentially caught in the open. Risky spray of the Vandal through the smoke, mate.
He does manage to hop back in, though, and somehow baits Mei into peeking him as well. Lockdown now gets deployed.
Yeah, Kaede gets his own off the plant as well. Probably want to rip this nice and early. Going to be a bit of a difficult one to hold, you'd feel, and there it does go.
Risky peek, but it does somewhat pay off. Counter lockdown being deployed by DFM as well. Still, though, a little bit of space for Full Sense to get into position, try to work alongside that Cosmic Divide. Yatsuka dives back in, but at the same time, way too low health. Cess trying to keep Full Sense in check with that Stinger at different ranges, but now Full Sense trying to get on top of the spike. It's been smoked off. Kaede finds a shot with a straight bullet and manages to get Primi at the end.
Yeah, good hold from DFM. Kind of wondering if Leviathan was going to use a Cosmic Divide of his own in amongst all of that too, because it would have provided a bit of protection behind it. You've already got your own flank covered. Yeah, a bit of a questionable one for me, just on the outset look of it, but hey, you're trying to thrive through the mix. It's great from Yatsuka to find JitBoys within that as well. Did notice that Kaede got caught from the lockdown, but he was already protected enough that it didn't really matter. Then you have to go fight, and fight he does. Coming out with the denial at the end. Primi, no defuse for our current, I'll call him superstar of the league. Up in a lot of the good fights, the good frags. Not going to be able to win that one, and now we have a bit of an economic problem for Full Sense. So being able to come out on top of the first initial engagement and remove the smokes from DFM is not too shabby.
Yeah, not discouraged from taking up further space. DFM, though, will go somewhere else.
Yeah, towards Art, where they're just going to get sniffed already by the Prowler. Again, with a bit of a 4-1 lean. Here. Mid being kept in check for JitBoys by the turret at top mid as well. So a bit disincentivized to go for an ambitious play by himself. You're putting stock in the 4 players of Full Sense being able to do something at this A site that you got to figure out soon as DFM how many players are here.
starting to get an inkling, but also getting surprised by these swings. Thai Killua. Akami presses the issue all the way up from front main, and now it's May popping off with the overdrive, trying to look for more targets.
I love this from Primi as well. You always got to be worried about an overdrive going ham against you, so the fact that he goes into the drift can commune to his teammates what's happening with May.
That's fantastic calling as well. At the same time, the team swings alongside it. Simultaneous kills found by Full Sense from the round.
Not a round, really, that DFM should have been seeing not go their way, right? Full weaponry, but it's the initial engagement that doesn't go their way. You lose your smokes, you got to get a little bit risky in the rounds as well. And as we all know in this Pacific League, Full Sense are a team of sharpies. If they are online and they're making some good decisions as well, it's going to be a bit of a problem to play against them. You start to see some adjustments come through from DFM in their initial 30-second, 40-second timer on the round. So we're already just seeing this A extremity control being loved by Full Sense, not really doing too much over B, happy enough to keep the Killjoy utility to be the check over there. And why change it if it ain't broke, right? Do the same thing again. Up towards A for Full Sense. Really push DFM out of this position. Funnel them in towards mid. You're also kind of feeling happy with your B retakes at the moment. So the onus really is on DFM to change things here.
Well, DFM will rear their heads after seeing the alarm bot pop off. But what they might not know is that this is the entire four-man squad from Full Sense on the other end. Leviathan taking 2 down. Thai with another trade. It's just Yatsuka left. Can he hold them off? Not quite. After Primi sprints forward with that Phantom. Full Sense up 6-2 now.
Happy to get down and dirty. 6-2. Got to see a timeout drawn here from DFM. Need to have some chats to make this one look a little bit better on your attacking side. Because remember, for the folks that might have just joined us, this map pick in this series of Pearl here is DFM's choice. Full Sense opting to start on the defensive side, and if they're able to come out on the swing of things with a very handsome halftime scoreline, well, they're going to just look to, again, take the fights over on attack and maybe close this one. The attack side against DRX, rather, is where they started off with a really good play as well. 8-4 that ended. They found the pistol, they found the bonus, they were off to a great start, really locking them out, getting those plants down. So the fact that Full Sense are already showing here that they're pretty much all 5 in the server fighting. They're happy to go for these retakes that are looking pretty strong. They're getting out the trades and the positioning. They've got a good understanding of what's happening right now. So I actually kind of like for Full Sense as well right now that this time out, you know, will give some assistance to DFM to try and figure out how to get back into it. But it also gives Cruz a bit of a free pass to just have a bit of a check with the team to make sure that, you know, they're doing right. Any little slip-ups that we've seen in the 2 rounds that they've lost, just making sure you're not going to have too much of a change that needs to come out from Cruz right now, which, you know, as a new coach is got to be great for him, a great feeling.
Definitely, right? Because he's also looking to enable his players. Now we're seeing Thai come off with a roaring start, especially the first initial rounds. So this is definitely, like what you mentioned, you know, all 5 present in the server, DFM. What is that macro change going to be?
An angle to try and get out the Hunter's Fury as well here to try and combo that with the Dimensional Drift. After the timeout, a change of utility for Full Sense. Killjoy util over towards the A site.
Slightly switched up, but Yatsuka just going all the way in. Perhaps looking for an opening from this spot. A lot of space being garnered up on. Full Sense just respecting it for now. They do have their own options and tools for retakes if needed.
Yeah, not going to be comboing the util of the ults for DFM though, as I kind of theorized, but deploying in the drift. Now the Hunter's Fury may be needing to come online because of this Cosmic Divide.
Very soon now, but not quite, not yet. Yatsuka is enough, just playing forward enough, and the showstopper, unfortunately, will not quite connect. Still, though, pushing all the way through now. Full Sense, they have the Nightfall. It gets sent in. Akame trying to hold off with time. He's alone by the pillar. Every single beam's been sent out. Can he land the shots? No, Primi takes him down instead. And Full Sense continue with their streak.
Well, it gets a little bit scrappy in the mix. Looks how low Full Sense members are at the end there. If the Hunter's Fury did connect, could have been a very different story. This is why I said, though, when that divide comes out, you are probably needing to drop a lot as DFM. You don't have a way to get back in towards the site. That's where you got a bit of a nuclear play coming in from Yatsuka. Great blindside in there. Happy as Larry to try and take the duels, but you've just got an overwhelming presence again by Full Sense. Everybody watching the angles that they need to. knowing that they've got that player advantage still in the end, because the Hunters of Fury just reveals where Kame is. And you're back towards broke state as well. Hero time instead of May now on Yatsuka, though kind of wouldn't put the Bucky past May to be able to get something cheeky.
Yeah, definitely not right, Komodo. Still, though, want to be quite cautious as well. The Bucky was one of the things that perhaps undid Full Sense in their recent series. So perhaps they might have adjusted to it as well.
I mean, you've got a serial Bucky abuser in the form of Darby on that one, so let's be real. That's a different beast.
May completely different.
Yep. Got to see if May has a bit of magic, though, because this half is certainly getting away from DFM at the moment, starting to sink a bit. Waiting for the time to tick on down, sub 1 minute, and this heavy A lean of DFM needs to really find value first, because you're feeling so confident as Full Sense that you know where this is ending. You're holding some good util still.
And it all comes down to shock and awe. Can they actually find the opener? Not quite, thanks to the grab while paint shells combo. Full Sense have all the information they need, but maybe not quite capitalizing on the position that he had. Still, though, it's Jit Boys and Primi. Primi with an op. 3v2.
Spike planted.
Recon gets sent forward, and Jit Boys will keep it in check. At the same time, revealing his position, though, and look at the little high-low alongside stairs. Tough angle to break. Primi might just have to save, but at this point, he's dug too far deep. Kaede creeping up behind him. He wants to possibly go for the rifle, but needs a quick scope. Swaps to the shorty, picks up the gun, and now looks for May. Does he know that Kaede's behind him? Thinks to clear main. Doesn't quite see anything. Sends out clones to make more noise. Nanostorms coming in to keep him off the spike. Primi now knows where his targets are, but he's running out of time. Gets the kills, holds onto the op for dear life.
A much needed round for DFM to be able to sneak away within this one of the thrifty variety as well. Not gonna lie, Full Sense a bit of a slip up in the mix of all the utility there. You got the paint shells finishing off your own teammate. Generally, when you push towards the main stairs smoke as well, you're always gonna be a shoo-in for a multi-frag. It's probably one of the most corners that always goes unchecked. So it's kind of crazy that Dai doesn't get away with more than one there. Sensational aim to come through from May. And just a little bit too difficult at the end for Primi to come away with a proper clutch. He'll come away with a bit of an effort to take down his opponents, but on the thrifty side of things, it's not going to be a good feeling. You look towards what we see on the side of DFM now. Glass Cannon operator for Yardska on this attacking side. Got the angle against Primi, and he wins that first and foremost.
Knowing that that's possibly what Primi did in the previous round. Fantastic opener. And then leaning heavy onto the A side.
Where Full Sense are not really budging. They put a lot of stock in holding this site for the tendencies of DFM that will more often than not come here. But what do you do now? Do you overthink things? I think these are kind of the rounds that we start to see a bit of slack for Full Sense, that they're waiting to really show growth in, right? It's that macro, that game plan idea, having Cruz now out of the server. Can Jit Boys really step up with all these ideas and right reads and right results?
He's calling something really interesting right now. Just leaving the side open.
Spike planted.
Trying to offer some sort of flank Komodo.
Yeah, full space control for DFM across the board on this A site. Alarm bot revealing flank. You've pushed all the way through Secret, through Flowers.
And unfortunately, that's exactly where DFM will be able to hold their ground. Quickly recognizing the situation. Stars being set up as well. Leviathan tries to look for a couple more peaks, but the rest of the team off to the races to save.
Yeah, this one is just already too far gone, so I was a bit surprised that Leviathan was trying to do something, right? Get a kill on the exit of this one. It doesn't really impact the economy of DFM because they came away with the thrifty. You'd need 3-4 kills in here to really have a bit of a problem thrown their way. So a risk for me for Leviathan there. Would have loved to say 3 guns in the next round for them instead of the 2 that they have to force up now because it is the last round of the half. A little bit sloppy there and a miss mid-round read too. Well done for DFM, however. Maybe it brings a little bit of stability onto them for the tail end of this one. They can convert this into a 7-5. So it's not like they're going to just see Full Sense roll over and die either, right? Primi still with that drift with the operator. Guns are plenty still for the rest of the squad as well.
Time to jump.
definitely still potential for this to end in an 8-4. Yatsuka with the off still as well, though.
Yeah, I'd give it over to Cess for what we've just seen. He came out with a pretty gnarly flick in the mix too. But it's all good. Cosmic Divide for Cess to be laid in later on. They do like to drop that after a plant is down, so we'll see how this little execute comes down in towards the site with all of the utility and a reveal on a Jip Boys.
And you would think Full Sense should be prepared for this, but unfortunately Jip Boys will get surprised. The TP does come through from Primi, but is it enough time? They got close enough, but Nano Swarms, Alarm Bots all being set up. It's Primi who goes in Dimensional Drift to try to thwart the formation from DFM. Cosmic Divide, as you call, does come in right after the plant. Makes things a lot more difficult for Full Sense to break through. They're trying with the paint shells, they're trying with elevated angles, and they manage to find the picks. Yatsuka says they have to hold it off. They manage to do it right around the edge of the smokes. Yatsuka decimates Full Sense in the defuse.
Just gets very wild in that. I noticed for Full Sense in that first kill on for the retake, 4 assists onto the kill that Dai has. Everybody trying to do everything they can for Full Sense in towards that one. Bit surprised at Leviathan with the Sheriff and 4 smokes available. Wanted to have a bit of a peek in through Street early on. But hey, see if he can get somebody caught lacking. And they weren't really in this one, DFM. Playing around their own Cosmic Divide quite nicely. The Bucky misses its shot at the tail end there. Unfortunate. And that's a bit of a steadying mark for the likes of DFM here as well. 7-5 after a bit of a slow start in this map. Dropping the pistol, dropping the bonus. They're going to look to see if they can change things up as they switch on to the defensive side now.
Where things definitely get a little bit more spicy. So far, so good for Full Sense, but towards the latter end of that first half, just like we witnessed, DFM managed to find little cracks here and there.
Yeah, but does that really change massively on the flip-up as well, right? Because what the desk was highlighting before and what I wanted to sort of show a little bit more deeper involvement with as well is map pools currently for the teams in kickoff, right? We've got some different ideas around the globe too with this new triple elimination format. We've got a team like DFM, which is an example of playing the field. They're just showing us 7 maps, but really, what the hell are you guys comfortable on? How much prep are you putting on every single map to be able to show really who you're playing against? You're banning different maps every single series, except for right now where we've got a corrode ban coming in again like they did against Global Esports. But before that, it was different maps per series. You're banning strong ones against your opponents or maybe what you're not prepping on that day. And then you got teams like Full Sense, which are very happy to keep banning the same things and play elsewhere. So there's all different looks, and even on the agents, mate, I mean, you're getting into this triple elim, you're getting to the bottom. We're seeing teams go back to comfort picks instead of trying to play to the meta at the moment because it's not working for them. So really, when we look at this right now, are we feeling that both of these teams are really happy with how their map pool looks, agent pool looks, just in the start of this pistol round right now? Lots of upgrades on the pistolas for Full Sense, Sheriffs and Ghosts. And a bit of silence in the server at the moment as they look to tend towards A for now.
Right, the full-on Deathmarch variety. A lot of trying things to iron out in the kickoff season for sure, but at this point in the triple elimination bracket, you really hope that you figured out all the little details that you need to adjust around. Akame getting into position, unfortunately still falls by the wayside. You do have Yatsuka close by though, and that's where he will be able to find a couple of exchanges here and there. Tries to walk further down A main, but he meets a turret.
Yeah, there was no exit strategy for him there with Gate Crash going by the wayside. Fair advantage and the plant for Full Sense.
Taking a lot of different positions as well makes things a lot more perhaps untenable for DFM starting to move forward, though. If they can take the kills, that will be much more successful. And Kaede chiming in with the frags coming through onto stairs. Just breaks apart Full Sense. Pistol picked up by DFM in the second half.
And that is a pistol where DFM lose their first blood as well, right? You've got Primi coming through from the art snap, and he's able to find the kill. You extend in towards main. It's good pistol fundamentals from Full Sense there, but at the tail end of it, not in great crossfires to be able to play off each other. You got a good slide in from May as well that shakes things up. Yatsuka's buying time for the team to rotate as well with getting some damage. It's just good little individual moments at the time for the beginning of DFM in that one, and then the remaining 3 coming together as a pretty solid unit for the retake, just knowing how that one should be played. Yeah, breathe some life back in towards this one for DFM. Surely right now it's 4 on the trot, including the exchange of the half. Looking to be 5 here, and then we'll see if they can also maybe convert a bonus.
Certainly would help them so much in the momentum department right now, diving forward after the turret takes contact.
Yep. Something we see Kaide love to do here as well, as opposed to the way Chipboys was doing it. Wasn't really playing too much toward mid doors as he was that B anchor. Rest of the team on full sense playing the 4-1s, right? So a bit of a different style on this defensive side for, I mean, what, 2 rounds so far? Not going to read in too much. We'll see what adjustments do come later on. As this once again is going to be a bit of an A-side play for full sense if they want to stick around. I probably wouldn't mind them, because if they do go to the other side against an outlaw of Yatsuka, could be quite damaging. We'll see.
This one could be damaging as well with all the players from DFM right around the corner. Primi able to find one Leviathan as well, but not quite getting the spike unlike DFM did in the previous half.
2 kills in the mix is not going to be too problematic for DFM. Couple of Bulldogs and that Outlaw, of course, which you got to be careful going into this next round as full sense. You look towards the shields, and Leviathan will be susceptible off the rip unless they adjust that with something of a Guardian and a full shield. So look to see him maybe play back a little bit more. And now we do start to ask the questions of full sense. What do your attacks look like on this one? Is it too one-dimensional? Are you trying to death ball in towards these sites? Do you have more of a steady play layered throughout the round or not?
Great questions to pose. And, you know, earlier to your point, it definitely could be quite telling just seeing how they operate the map differently, especially with the killjoys at hand as well. So, slight forward approach, full sense back towards A.
And the difference as well on these defenses too, having the Sober instead of the Fade, is the A main control at the moment. Akame has to kind of stick around and just use that drone a little bit later on instead of the super early read that the Prowlers were getting over on full sense, but they do kind of get it at the right time. Drone to reveal, you bring Mei back over towards the A site, you hear silence around the B site, you've got the turret watching mid doors still, you've also got the alarm bot up towards A, so you are feeling pretty comfortable as DFM at the moment. This starts to really tick on down as well. Starts to look a little bit wonky, perhaps. Akame risking it here.
May as well, perhaps. Oh no, the Bucky shot whipped! Flashes abound, and it will be full sense being able to kick down the doors. Primi towards the back of Flowers as well. It's gonna be Kaide's turn pretty soon, and that's where he hits the deck. Just Yatsuka left with this outlaw.
Yeah, juggling the plant over towards Thai, it looks like as well, to get that showstopper online as soon as possible. Not a bad shout, as Premier will trade in the end, just losing Jip Boys in your first buyout for full sense. So no bonus conversion here for DFM, no real impact in that round, so to speak. But they did have the lesser rounds as well to try and keep things quite interesting here. And I said in that bit, a bit risky for Akame, because it did look like he was going to peek out from the back of sight before the smokes were even down, before Mei could get himself situated to get that slide ready. He did think better of it, but in the end, kind of all for naught.
Yeah. Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Oh, the Odin Man is here with a plan. Let's see what Akame can do. It's 4 in a row for DFM in the A main area, and Jip Boys, the drone will expire before it can find him, but putting Yatsuka on the line already. Sensational for an opener.
That is just such a strong start as well, despite full sense getting space on the B site.
Yeah, they're going to try and get on in. You're happy to go retake his DFM here, or maybe not anymore. Primi, he was silent in the first half. If he starts to step up, it's going to be scary.
Oh, May's going to start to make a lot of noise as well. Oh, no, slides in the corner. And this is where Leviathan will start to pop off. Cess finding frags now. It's Primi and Cess in a 1v1. The angle's favoring Primi, though. All he has to do is hold. Cess revealing his shoulder at the wrong moment. Full sense will take the round.
Gets close at the end. Need a bit of Cess vision there to see how he's found 2 in amongst the muck of that B site. Some good tracking as well, it seems like, on towards May, where you're really trying to get the spray down. Always leads into a little bit of laughter for Leviathan. Or rather from his teammate. But anyway, here we go. That's what I wanted to see from Cess. Because we've always had some kind of questions against Cess, right? In his disconnected action from how he likes to play on the map as opposed to the team on the attacking sides, right? It always feels a little bit lacking sometimes. But on this defensive side, happy to put himself in with the team a little bit more. Getting a little bit more dirty into these fights where required seems to be, a bit of a positive for DFM, I would like to say.
Second on the board right now, yeah. But, well, with the current guns and the ults that Full Sense have, you need a whole lot more.
This round does not tip into your favor as DFM. The scales, they go the other way. Unless somehow you can bait the Full Sense members into this Bucky of May. If you can draw attention away as Akame backside with the drone and the dart, or Yatsuka, some good flashes clone, perhaps.
He's been trying it for the past several rounds now, but they're still not paying off. Primi, though! Fantastic recovery on the separate angle, and now Jit Boys will get involved into the site. It's just Yatsuka able to hold and do a couple of shots with that sheriff of his.
Certainly makes things interesting. Imagine a world in which he found 3, right?
Oh my
Could have
God.
put Cess in a position potentially for that 1 versus 2 clutch, but right now, if you are Cess, you've got nothing to play for, right? You already have your ult. You got guns in the next round. You've already used a couple stars in this one. Jit Boys is 1 away from the lockdown, so if you die to him, you give him the ult for the next round instead of them challenging for an orb, which will be 5 ults on the side of Full Sense. Yikes. Now, I will kind of have to highlight today, I would like to see ultimates used by teams.
Nice roast. Yeah, we're referencing to the games of yesterday, but unfortunately this time, perhaps trying to go for a weapon here and there, but it's Primi with the out.
I would like to see a timeout in for DFM here as well, as they have lost a bit of a grip on this half so far. Does look like by the timeout being paused that I am going to be seeing that, which is good. We saw last time as well, right, when that timeout came down, a massive change up of utility from the side of Full Sense, worked good for them, right, moving all that KJ util from the B side to the A side, really making DFM question what is going to be happening. For right now, though, another opportunity for DFM to try and come up with some new ideas against what Full Sense are doing. You're going to have your upgrades of weapons, you're going to have a slight couple of ultimates to be able to challenge. But these are the swing rounds in the map. If you can come away with this one as DFM, you give yourselves a bit of fresh air. If you lose this one, the curtains start to close a little bit as Full Sense will reset your economy again. You're looking towards maybe half buying to stave them off from 12, and they get my point. There's some very big weight on this round for the Japanese side.
100%. I felt the sting as soon as you said it, Komodo, but damn. At the same time, though, we do have a couple of Thai pop idols in our audience seats, I believe. I think Hart and Jung somewhere in the crowd. So a little shout out to them. But for now, yeah, this very well could be Full Sense taking away their opponent's map pick, depending on how this round goes. Ooh, big guns coming out.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a reset if you don't find this one. You got to have some questions in the next one as a team collectively. So let's see for DFM, can they stretch this one out, make it work? Currently the Yatsuka show over on DFM's side may be missing.
Who's next?
Dimensional drift in from Primi. Scope things out towards main, nice and early. Spot that both of the duelists are there. Push things a little bit more in towards the B side. Team in tow, but not really. It's a ruse, it's a fake, and I absolutely love it because DFM have fallen hook, line, and sinker.
Fantastic calling coming through off the timeout as well. This is a multi-dimensional chess game because the spike gets delivered over to the A side for free.
And they've got some time as well because you have to invest util right now as DFM. How far forward do you think Full Sense have pushed where they've got some stalling action as well on the tail end of this? Killua with the Nightfall, Die with the Showstopper, Leviathan with the Cosmic Divide. Could be gorgeous here.
Cosmic Divide first, though, but look at the positions that Full Sense take, knowing that this could be where DFM might want to rotate over from. Now, slightly revealing themselves, getting on top of the spike. Kaide tries to get halfway, but gets off the last second because of Nano Swarms. Now, though, should be Full Sense's time to send off those ultimates. Showstopper, Primi diving in, and unfortunately, DFM just completely lost their grip over the spike, over the site. They have to relinquish this round.
It's just too overwhelming from Full Sense. That is a fantastic idea on how to tackle this round and really show something you haven't done just yet on your attacking side. It is a great way to sell the fake that DFM just fall for it absolutely, and there's no real way they get back into it. I mean, the timing on the gravity well from Leviathan just before the spike gets half defused is perfect. Cess is caught by himself, and again, you've got aspects of the tail end as well for a bit of exit strategies for Full Sense. You've got the rest of your ultimates, that showstopper going in. There was an extra satchel for Thai to pop you off the spike defuse if you needed to, if they were losing the kills. Because, mate, they weren't really losing the kills there.
Especially when Primmy's playing like this. 21 kills and 8 deaths only. DFM now trying to take charge.
Another buy for DFM. Got to try and stick it to the man in this one. Full Sense. Opportunity to try and make it a pretty convincing scoreline on your opponent's map pick. A map that you don't shy away from currently either. Happy to play it. Getting another dub here on it would further that. Bit of backing up towards this B site now from Cess. Locking himself in. There's a Kame. Finds an opener in a more slow-paced round.
Some change of pace. Unfortunately, catches Full Sense like a deer in headlights. Couple players down, and as soon as they try to break through, unfortunately, DFM are completely prepared. Cess, May, all fighting one apiece. It's just Leviathan left on the other end of that smoke, and even at that point, all you can really hope for are kills, perhaps, but see if he's able to isolate the duels. Singular taps, and he's found 3! Just Yatsuka left onto the operator. Potential wallbang spot. Unfortunately whiffs as the spike goes down. Leviathan with a step now holds a favorable angle. You've got clones, you've got flashes, you got something that you can definitely do. He's trying to fake it, but Leviathan checks! It's a Red Bull clutch 1v4, quad kills aplenty!
That is very, very crazy to come through from Leviathan. He has absolutely just slithered around that site like crazy. You lose first opener, you lose second opener. It's a 5 versus 3. Your opponents, it's a bloody 5 versus 2, man! And he just comes back in towards this one with some absolute sharp shots. The fake clone attempt, reading it, you see it. No, not falling for that, mate. Oh, absolutely ridiculous.
Taking that back.
Is that the nail in the coffin moment in this map? You, of course, have to force now as it's 5 map points for DFM. Lockdown, Hunter's Fury, Overdrive have to rely upon some big value ults in this one where Full Sense didn't deploy all of theirs as well, mind you.
It's all in or nothing.
Yep.
And even then, you still got quite the journey to go. We'll start off with the Nightfall from Full Sense into the A site, calling the reinforcements for DFM over.
You just have to drop the lockdown here as Kaide. You're not really in a great position to be able to put it perfectly, so you just got to rip it. See if you can stall your opponents away, which they're not forcing a plant here, Full Sense.
Yeah, just wanting to draw out the ults. Look at the macro game they're playing.
I mean, look at just the, again, over-rotation from DFM. The B side is completely unguarded. You'd almost feel like a Kame, as soon as they hear the tap on towards the spike, you'd have to rip the Hunter's Fury, but he's so far away from the piece. They're thinking it's a fake. DFM are thinking that Full Sense are coming back towards the A site, and it's the wrong decision.
Absolute confidence from Full Sense as well to be able to make these plays. Look at Primmy holding the off angle. It's an outlaw. He's not going to be able to connect the shot, but it still buys perhaps enough time away from Kaide to join the rest of his team. Now Hunter's Fury gets deployed to deal with the lockdown. May dives in on the action, but Jitboys has it set up. Nano Swarms, everything, denying DFM from retaking the site. It's Cess, it's Akame. They're trying to find the shots. They found a couple. Can they get even more done? Jitboy from the back of holes suddenly reveals his presence, and Cess needs to clear it. 1v2 just to keep DFM in the game, but he gets hit. It's the grab ball, it's the Vandal shot. Jitboy to finish, and that will be Full Sense taking away DFM's map pick.
Yeah, pretty convincing scoreline at the end of this one as well, 13-7. Gotta say, Leviathan has been quite under par in a lot of these maps so far. He had to have a kick up the butt in that one, you feel. He got his moment. That 1 versus 4 had to feel so good for him to have impact with the team as well. A little bit more on the server. Because, I mean, the idea and the fundamentals of Full Sense was pretty strong. He had the assistance of the timing with all the smokes. His gravity wells and nanos, Nova Pulses were always in good play, right? The timing on that, I'll give him credit. Really, really well. So he steps up on the kill department in this one as well. Really feels like he's ingrained in the team, you would hope, in these moments. And I just feel like that was a bit of a big mental boom thrown in the mix as well. Because the fact that you had a 2 versus 5 and it gets pulled out from under you like that, it is just criminal.
That's just one of the things about Full Sense, isn't it? I mean, we know the players and the potential from DFM based on the performance that they've shown thus far, but onto this one. I mean, a surprise play from guys like Leviathan for Thai to be able to step up onto the stage this day.
And conversely as well, Yatsuka, he's stepping up over on the side of DFM as well, right? He's getting really dirty in these mixes on the Yoro play. He's really trying to dig deep and be set up by the team to go on in. But there was a couple of times in this game where I feel like there's just some massive over-rotations for DFM, some wrong calls. Now, whether you throw that in towards just playing 7 maps across the pool and not having full structure on this one, wrong calls in the moments, I think Cess has to kind of take a little bit of a step back and fix that one. On the flip side, though, nicely done for Full Sense. They get the first map, their opponents split around the corner, and we know that's going to be exciting too.
Yep, as promised, today's matches are super exciting. Full Sense ended up winning out on Pearl. DFM have shown a lot of strength on this map, so this is a huge vote of confidence for the Thai squad.
Yeah, they're looking very, very clean. Back to how they were looking earlier on in the tournament. For me, they're shooting better. They're all looking extremely sharp in that server, but the macro game felt very deliberate. The game planning felt very deliberate from me, so a great map 1 from Full Sense. DFM forced to play catch-up now.
You can see Full Sense just dominating the opening kills, but what really sold me on that game was just seeing some players who hadn't really performed thus far in kickoff, or maybe were bouncing back after a lackluster series, having much better games. Agreed with what you said. I thought that Full Sense, starting our defense side of Pearl here, had a great approach, had a great game plan. DFM did their best. You saw some good adaptability at times. Great game from Yatsuka, all things considered, but actually a little bit more of a lackluster performance across the board from the rest of the squad. Cess, their second best performer, and 3 of the guys who've been heavy hitters thus far not able to get into the double digits.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a rough loss for DFM on this map. Yatsuka did, do what he promised, though. He did say it in his interviews, like, next match, I'm going to be showing up. But you don't want to be the only one showing up. Where's the rest of your team? I mean, granted, Cess also has some moments too.
Yeah, Cess had some moments where he's kind of looking clean with it. We see him bring out that operator. Okay, I was feeling it a little bit, but ultimately it's not enough. I mean, I think you look at the firepower on the other side, we see Primi step up, and then we also see